This week on TGC News, magnetic optics, world record guns, and a ton of new stuff. Welcome back to another episode of the Gun Collective News. I'm John Patton, and I want you to give this gun a new name down in the comments. At the end of the show, I will tell you what they actually call it. Guys, I am done doing ticket promotions for this year's Gun Con because they're sold out. Huge thank you to those of you that were able to get a ticket. I cannot wait to see you guys at Brownells in June. It will be an absolutely packed house this year, and you guys are what make this event happen. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. I sound a little bit disingenuous because I say this all the time, but I really mean it. Thank you for the support. Now, the news. Fiocchi announced a new line of ammo called the High Performance Hunt. As you may have guessed, this is specifically meant for hunting, and more specifically, it's for handguns. That said, there are 4 offerings on the launch of this segment. 140 grain 357, a 155 grain 10 mil, a 225 grain 44 Magnum, and a 200 grain 45 Colt. They are all using Barnes XPB copper hollow points. There's no word on pricing just yet, but the rifle version of the High Performance Hunt ammo is around $1.50 per shot, so I expect this will follow that. Silencer Central is in the news this week with a new one called the Banish Speed K TI. Did somebody have a stroke when they were naming that? Joking aside, this is a very small can at 4 inches long, and it weighs only 8.6 ounces because it's made from titanium. It is set up for 5.56, and the MSRP is $1,400. Considering there are a few other small 5.56 cans that are similar-ish in size and weight and are way less money, I can't really see why anyone would spend that much money. Why would you spend $1,400 on a small 5.56 can? What? Moving on from there, one of the more interesting products we've seen in a while is a new way to mount a red dot to your pistol with magnets. Nobody tell ICP. The company is called High End Defense, and the product is the CAT Magnet Mount and Sight. This is an all-in-one unit, even though it kind of looks like they were just slapping a cheap Chinesium optic on top of their proprietary mount. You need to use their proprietary rear sight, and the optic sort of looks like it hooks onto that, and then because most pistol slides are made of ferrous material, the magnets hold the thing on without the need for an optic cut. They are available for 9 different brands of pistol, and I think 13 or 14 different guns, and range in price from $345 to $365. It also looks like they were smart enough to put a notch in the middle of their proprietary rear sight so that if you take it off, you can still have irons on the gun. I am very skeptical that this will hold up, but they claim that it holds really well, and of course they do. I mean, that magnet must be a strong bastard. I'd love to hear what you guys think of this one down in the comments. This episode of TGC News is brought to you by Sylvan Arms. New for 2024 is their SA5 folding stock adapter. Developed for serious use, the SA5 is made of steel, has adjustable hinge tension, and a tighter fit to your receiver, and of course all the features from their previous folders. To get 10% off, use the code TGC10 at sylvanarms.com. We've got a ton of new guns to cover this week, so put your mall walking shoes on, you old bastards. Let's go. Weatherby announced a new version of their still kind of new Model 307, and it's called the Alpine MDT Carbon. Clearly, this is one of their barreled actions dropped into an MDT carbon fiber chassis. It's available in 13 different cartridges, and carbon fiber barrel lengths range from 22 to 26 inches, depending on caliber, and they all come with a muzzle brake. The MSRP there is $3,500. Moving on from there, SK Guns has another limited run gun as part of their Lost States of America series. This one is the Lost State of Transylvania, which used to exist mostly in what is now Kentucky. The gun is also dedicated to Daniel Boone and his role in early America. There is gold inlay all over the gun that started life as a regular Colt 1911, and it also has these fancy bourbon barrel grips. That's kind of cool. Pricing is $2,700, and they said that these are shipping later this year. Barrett is back in the news with the return of the Rec 7 DI rifle. This was originally introduced in 2016, but was sort of shelved when Barrett had to go full bore on making the Mark 22, aka the MRAD, for the US government. Well, that is kind of, I guess, slowed. They paused it or some shit. I don't know. So they're back to making the latest version of the Rec 7 DI. It's kind of basic, so I'll save you the details, but MSRP is $1,900. Springfield Armory is back in the news with a couple new things, sort of. They are now making long-action versions of their Model 2020 Waypoint rifle. It's now available in 7 Rem Mag, 7 PRC, 300 Win Mag, 300 PRC, 270, and 30-06. Neat. They also released a 50th anniversary edition of the M1A. This is a limited series, and each gun comes with a signed certificate of authenticity, and it comes in a white pine display crate. That's kind of cool. There's also a medallion in the fancier walnut stock, which I think all that's kind of nice, and it also comes with a bunch of kind of old school trinkets to match the ensemble. This is definitely a collector thing because there's only going to be 1,974 of these made, and the MSRP is $2,500. It could probably go up from there pretty rapidly if they sell out. Rolling forward, Colt has a bunch of new stuff for us. I'll try to keep this quick. First is the Viper, which comes in 4¼ and 3-inch barrel versions. These are .357 Magnum revolvers, and they say they are the ultimate carry revolvers. What? Sure. MSRP is $1,000 on those. Then there's the bear guns. The Grizzly is a .357 with what appears to be a 4-inch barrel. They don't list the specs on the website because Colt is terrible at their jobs. Yes, I'm looking at you, Colt. MSRP on that is $1,600. The Kodiak is the same thing in .44 Magnum, but this page tells us it's a 4¼ inch barrel. No mention of capacity, so I'll assume it's 5 or 6 rounds. Oh, again, $1,600 there. And then we have 2 new versions of the Python, both with 8-inch barrels. There's the matte finish version for $1,300 MSRP, and the polished version, which is $1,500 MSRP. There is no deal of the week this time because there's too much new stuff to cover, so make sure you get subscribed to see news like this every single week. Anderson Manufacturing, aka Poverty Pony Actual, has a new line of guns called Frontline. These are basically their version of entry-level-ish, mid-tier, with parts that are a little bit nicer than the basics. They can be had in pistol and rifle variants in 5.56 and a pistol-only 7.5-inch 300 Blackout. The 5.56 guns also offer a quad rail version for idiots. Pricing is actually pretty solid at $799 for the pistols and $850 for the rifle versions. If these things shoot well, that is a lot of potential value for money there. Marlin is back in the news with a new lever gun. This time, it's a new version of their 1895 Trapper chambered in .45-70. The thing that makes this unique is that it's featuring the brand new Magpul ELG furniture. The gun features a 16-inch threaded barrel, 5-round mag tube, Skinner sights, and pick rail on top, and it comes in that stainless finish that you see. The thing that makes the Magpul furniture different is that you have an M-LOK forend, of course. That's kind of a given these days. And the stock has a flip-up lid covering an ammo compartment. I was hoping it was an adjustable stock when I saw the little button there, but they went with ammo storage in the stock instead. You can get a cheek riser to put on top if you are running an optic on the pick rail, so that's cool, I guess. MSRP is $1,650, which is $150 more than the other Trapper variants, and there's probably about $300 in parts added to the gun. So that's not like horrible as a deal, considering, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure you guys will tell me, oh, everything's too expensive. I see it all the time in the comments. And yes, I agree, everything is too expensive. Smith & Wesson has a new revolver out that is in honor of Jerry Michelick's new world record. There is a full documentary on their YouTube channel. If you want to go watch that, we'll link it below. The record he set was shooting a rack of 6 steel plates in 1.88 seconds. That is fast. The gun is a unique model that has a scandium frame, 8-round titanium cylinder, Jerry's signature grip, the core optic system on top with a Vortex comp dot, and it's chambered in 9mm with a 5-inch barrel. There's also the fact that this is a Performance Center tuned gun, and there are only 1,880 units being made. MSRP is $3,500. That man is a living legend, and that gun is pretty cool. Oh, and the gun at the beginning of the show was a Cam4 Distributor Special Edition Glock called, it's a Glock 45, it's called the Dirty Diaper. I shit you not. That's, what? 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 Why? What are we doing? What is this? Is this reality? Ugh.